Hey, wake up, Loco. It's Justin Jarrett and Max Raj. We're going to have some other friends coming along. This is something that we have been discussing for a while, the idea of a morning show when needed to disseminate news that is worth getting up early for and talking about over our coffee. So we're piloting today. Wake up, Loco. It was a big day in the Low Country yesterday on the Loco sports scene. We had a state championship crowned on the wrestling mat, which is it's a rare thing, you know. So we're very excited about that. We want to celebrate that team today, and Coach Ashley Powell is going to join us momentarily to talk about a crazy match. They came back from they were down 35-11 with five
Yeah.
matches to go, 5 out of 14, and they win it 36-35. And we're going to talk to Powell about how many years came off his life to hang a banner over in
Yeah.
the deep end, but and what a day for May River Wrestling. And then you and I were both in the Cove yesterday for terrific basketball games. Wes joins us. What's up, buddy?
Us.
Yeah.
They not like us. They not like that Sand Sharks from USCB.
They were not
Yeah.
like us. Um, but yeah, Wes Kerr jumping in a
Not
little
like
late
us.
here on the debut of Wake Up
Hey,
Loco. We were
hey,
just
I'll tell you
saying
what. Every time that song plays in the Cove, it gets me hyped up. And
it seems to
of
get the
course,
boys going too.
I tied it in because um, Kendrick is having his big night tonight, so I had to.
That's right. That's right. We'll get to the Super Bowl stuff in a little bit as well. We'll talk about that a little. I made us a new thing. Oh, that didn't work like I wanted it to. Ah, shoot. I had us a new thing, but it seems like it's not going to work with what I wanted it to do. But anyway, we had a great night in the Cove. USCB, two incredible wins. The women winning in overtime. The men coming back from 18 down at halftime. It was just insane. And that didn't wrap. We didn't get out of there till 10:30, boys. I
Yeah,
didn't know what time it
and I
was
was
till I walked
there.
out the door.
I was there since like 10:30 or 10 in the morning,
Right,
calling USB baseball. I
right.
was
Are you on the call again today?
um. So I checked the schedule today to see if there's a softball game, and it was removed. So I'm not sure if there's playing
Oh,
today. Baseball wrapped up yesterday.
yeah. I
Softball was
didn't know if
supposed
you
to
were on
play
softball
today
today, but
against Eckerd, but I didn't see it on the
interesting.
schedule. I don't know if they took it off or they.
Interesting. Well, I
Uh,
think Bracken may join us here in a little while, and he'll be able to update us on all that. We'll have a
right.
mini Sand Shark rewind. This kind of came about because we had a bunch of stuff that didn't need to wait till Monday, but
And
it's
really,
Super Bowl Sunday.
you were hyped up after the end of that.
We almost did
After,
it last night, but I thought better of it,
yeah,
and we
yeah, it's
decided to
off the
do.
schedule. So I wonder. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess they're not
Yeah.
playing today.
By the way, Wes, you missed the intro video. It's great.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
it
watch it.
was pretty beautiful.
Watch it after.
You'll see it at the
After.
end. You'll see it again at the end.
Yes,
But
that's right.
Yeah,
so yeah, a
yeah.
bunch of
Maybe
stuff
this will
happened.
be
I'm
a.
out on the porch. It's a beautiful day in the Loco, by the way.
Hey,
So wake up and get
if this
outside
Beautiful
works,
today.
morning.
this may have to be a thing sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. I think is that it will become a thing for
Yeah,
sure, and we'll see how it goes. But this is the maiden voyage, and
yeah.
that's kind of the main highlights. We also had the region basketball tournament for SCISA at Hilton Head Christian, but not involving them. JP2, both their teams won, so we'll talk a little bit about that and what that entails. SCISA wrestling state championships as well, and we had some state champs from the Loco over there. And then we'll talk about what we're doing the rest of the day, which includes our Super Bowl picks. So got quite a few things lined up. But first things first, we got a state champ in the Loco.
We do.
Where's that? Where's that? Oh man, we don't have that thing in here. Let me put it in the other one. Here we go. Yeah, they're worthy of that,
Your
aren't
River
they?
Sharks
The
are
May
Class
River
1
Sharks, the
state
state
champions.
champs. What's up, Coach Powell? How you doing this morning, buddy?
Doing good, man. A lot better this morning. I was about 4:30 to about probably about 4:15 to about 4:45 yesterday, but doing much better right now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Man, I watched a good bit of it. I wasn't able to watch during the match because I was over at USCB working, but I watched a good bit of it last night as I was falling asleep, and I got tired of watching us lose tough matches, so I started skipping ahead to get to where it was gonna get good, and then I fell asleep. Of course, that was when I got tired and fell asleep, so I didn't get to see all the finish yet, but I'm gonna go back and watch it. Down 35-11 and you
Wow.
guys have five weights left. I mean, the math is getting tough. and Bo Gwynn and the lightweight hammers
Yeah.
bring it home. I mean, just incredible.
What a story. That's Hollywood right there. That is fantastic.
Yeah, it was it was pretty awesome. Like I said, before every match, I do like a pace sheet where I go kind of with the worst case scenario to have us winning by
Yep.
1 point.
Yep.
Kind of use that to track us through every single match, and we were significantly behind the pace heading into like 175, and then I kind of did a quick math, and I said, well, wait a minute, if we can come out of heavyweight down 18 or less, right around 19, we're going to have a chance, because I felt pretty good about our lightweights. But
Yeah.
I mean, their 106 is,
Yeah.
I think, the 4th ranked kid. I mean, he's 1 spot behind Stefano.
Exactly.
Their 13 pounders ranked, their 20 pounders ranked, and they bumped him to 26. They burned up they burned up their 26 by bumping him to 32 in the very first match of the night.
Oh, and you
But
beat
then,
him.
Yeah, but then we had to show first at 20, so I knew they were going to try to put their better kid against Liam, and down 2 with 1 match to go, and Liam Engelbaum was able to figure it out, and he's a hard worker. I'm not sure Liam's ever missed a practice. He's very humble. The poor kid has worked, and he fell short a couple times in matches and he would just get frustrated. And I felt bad for him because he does everything right. And for him to be able to win it for us was pretty special. He wrestled by far his best match of the year. He wrestled smart, and that doesn't always happen when you got that much pressure riding on. You're the only one left between you and a team state title. But he was able to get it done, so it was pretty special.
Talk about the pressure, though. Having to go in, really no room for error those last couple matches. So, just hype up those closers, those last couple of guys who helped come from behind and seal a deal. And the electricity on that bench had to be through the roof at that point.
Oh man, it went from being pretty quiet to pretty loud, starting at heavyweight. And I think what makes it kind of special is we only got 3 seniors in our lineup, and all 3 of them had massive wins for us. So as a senior man, to help your team, propel your team to a state title, Darian White, Josh Echeverry, and Bo Gwynn were able to get it done. But we came around to Stefano at 106. That kid was pretty strong, but Stefano's really small, but he knows how to wrestle. And
oh boy, does he!
And he got it done. Then Ryan, went out there and took care of business. Got a pin. Marcus got a pin. Then it was on Liam's shoulders per se. But there's like I said, Darian White's pin in the first match of the night.
Yeah.
Was huge, but you don't realize how huge it was until circle
later.
back around and figure out that his match actually won the match for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and he got that first period pin. He got in on an awesome single leg and just kept going.
The young sung guys being the heroes. I mean, that's what we love about sports, right? I mean, that's the best.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's team. That's a team.
Wrestling. Absolutely, in a sport like wrestling, where all 14 weight classes are 100% equal, and in some sports, I coach football, but if you got a really good quarterback or you got a really good running back, or 1 or 2 players can take control of the game, like in basketball. But in wrestling, man, your best kid and your worst kid have 100% equal value. Yep. So you got to find a way to make sure that the worst kid on your team, takes care of business, because you go out and get your best kid gets 6 and you give 6 right back away, you're still at 0. So, wrestling, man, is a special sport, and last night was no better example of it. To be down 24 with 5 to go, and the most possible points you can get is 30.
Yeah, unbelievable. I've got the last bit of Liam's match queued up here for us. to check out, just so you guys can get a sense of what was happening in the arena. It was 3-1 Engblom at this point. Minute 24 to go. And then
122.
I'll take off our banner so we can see Powell.
Try to step over with that right foot, get him in the leg cradle the same way we saw his teammate Butler do it.
I got to say that these commentators didn't do it for me. The leg cradle and some of the things that were said were a little unusual. I heard some others complaining on Facebook about it, but Liam with a huge takedown there, and then just riding like a beast.
This gets your team the lead. They have stayed hot the last.
He just said this gets your team the lead. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
Forever.
disappointed to they didn't know that was the last match.
Stalling called.
It gets them the lead forever.
Right. Correct. For eternity.
Banners fly forever, baby.
But he's back up to a vertical base again as they work their way out.
I mean, Liam had to just be so juiced by
This was for the
Mayriver
match.
crowd
So
and his bench right here.
How much were you guys down by in the match as a team at this point?
At this point, they're down
They're down
2,
two.
so
Okay,
whoever
so
wins the
you just need
match
to win.
wins the match.
Yeah, you just need to win regardless. You didn't need like a pin.
Yep. Winner wins it, no matter what.
A couple times the overzealous.
No
Talk
stipulation.
about that kind of pressure right there.
17 seconds remaining in this
Everything's on you, but it's on both guys. You know,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
so who's going to bust and who's going to turn into a diamond? I mean, pressure does two different things to you.
Yep.
And Liam Engblom
There it is. Right there.
was the one.
Hear him get loud. That one's gonna end it.
That's so cool, man. I cried last
How
night
about
watching
that
it,
adventure?
pal. I'm so happy for you guys.
We appreciate it.
So happy for you guys, man. The work that's gone into that, building it from the ground up, just awesome. Just awesome. I mean, blood, sweat, and tears in that room. And you see how much it means to everybody. Whether you were in the lineup or third string, it means the world because you all earned it together in that room.
To a state title like this, and you know, it's so important to have that buy-in from everybody, top all the way to bottom. And what a match
Awesome
and what a
stuff,
moment
man.
for the Sharks, and can't be more proud of yourself, Coach Powell, and this group of guys. And you know, just has it taken? Have you been able to see it sink in now for you, and just seeing the excitement on the faces of those young men who have worked incredibly hard throughout the entire winter and prior to that. So I mean, just overall, what does this mean for yourself, and more importantly, what does this mean for Mayriver High School and this program?
Well, I just think, you know, it's not just the kids on this team. It's, you know, it's been 9 years of a lot of people who've poured into creating a program that kids want to be a part of and making us better coaches. But but it means a lot because, you know, I think we demand a lot that a lot of teams don't, in terms of, you know, we're there every time we're able to practice. And that's not always fun for a teenager because they could be doing a whole lot of other things. And during the summer, we're there 4 days a week lifting. We go to 2 camps. I mean, we're spending, 7-8 days away from our friends and our family, and they buy in. But I mean, I think a big part of our program is our coaches, man. I'm incredibly for the coaches that we have. I mean, Coach Rob Walker's been with us the whole time. He's an older guy that cares a lot about kids. He's big on building relationships and being tough, and kids love him. And and he's got a lot of wisdom in coaching for 35, 40 years. We got Coach Gio, who's been with us for I think 8. Coach Gio is a fireman, man. He's incredibly detail oriented. He's very, very smart. He can't get in there all the time because he's a fireman. But when he's in there, man, his knowledge is incredible. And then we got Coach C, who's from the motherland of wrestling from Pennsylvania. And, he brings a wealth of knowledge and commitment. I'm not sure Coach C has ever missed a practice or anything he's asked to do. He's all about these kids and getting better at wrestling. I mean, if you asked him who won the 1987 finals, he'll be able to tell you.
I know the type. Yeah, I know a few of those.
And then this year we added Coach Benjamin, man, who's young and energetic and absolutely loves the sport of wrestling. And, you know, a lot of kids could relate to him. And he, you know, he's there every day. He busts his tail. You know, he's got us significantly better. He takes pride in it. He's a hard worker. And then for a brief stint, we had Coach DeAndre Swinson, who's in the military. He was a 3-year starter at Appalachian State.
Nice.
In the room helping us, but just recently got deployed. So he missed our state championship, but he's our country, man, doing the right thing. So we're incredibly grateful and thankful for them. Just thankful for everybody, anybody, you know, in my interview, anybody that poured a second into our program. This is an honor of them, and I appreciate everything that anybody that's ever been in our program has done.
It's crazy for me to think back. You know, it was a brief stint when we were in your room for the. I'm getting some feedback off somebody. It was a brief stint when we were in your room with that Low Country Wrestling Club. You know, for just a couple of years, we just kind of got the ball rolling, and then COVID hit, and it kind of killed our momentum. But thankfully, Reverence stepped in at that exact time and picked up the ball and ran with it, which was what needed to happen. But I think back to that, and, you know, Stefano was out there on the mat, and Gio was in there helping out, and it's like seeing it all come together, you know, seeing what we visualize. Let's get kids on the mat early and let them start developing, so when they get here, just God, it makes me so happy when I see those kids that took that first step and came out with this, having success at the high school level, because that's always what it was about.
And I think ultimately for us to sustain and continue to build, that is going to be the catalyst behind it. And like I said, Reverence offering, you know, year-round wrestling for youth kids, and they doing a phenomenal job over there with, you know, getting kids involved, getting them to care about the sport, taking care of them, treating them right. What an incredible facility that kids have an opportunity to go to and do things outside of school. It is pretty special. And, you know, and the good news is kids from all around the county and around the low country, area, Georgia, go there. So, you know, that mentality of iron sharpens iron. But we were fortunate, man. We got a good group who, you know, who battled, and I'm not sure I've ever seen a comeback like that. So it was pretty incredible.
Man, I was bumming when I heard the score, and then I got on the broadcast, and then Max said May River won 36-35, and I was like, whoa, what? So then I had to figure out in my head who it was who did it, and I was like, started with Bo, baby. Started with Bo.
I've been paying attention, and I was like, they're down 35-11. I don't know if they can get out of this one. And all of a sudden I see a text from Misa saying May River won, and I was like, huh? How?
That blew my mind.
You know?
Just blew my mind. But at the same time, didn't shock me, because
not at all. Not at all.
I knew you guys had the hammers in there. The 150 match was what scared me, though, because you had a 1-2 match and Blake got caught on his back twice with those headlocks. I don't think that would happen again.
And
if
Blake's
they wrestled
really, really good.
times.
And he puts a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah.
You know, we're able to overcome it, and he'll be back ready to roll tomorrow. I bet he's probably practicing right now.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll make a run at a state title, and it'll be pretty special, hopefully, for him over the next 2 weeks.
I'll be shocked if we don't see those two again in 2 weeks in the state finals. Yeah. Kids get caught, and that's one thing that maybe casual wrestling fans don't understand. But like, if two evenly matched guys wrestle 100 times, both of them are going to get pinned a few times.
So
it's just going to happen.
Now that you guys have gotten this one, how does this energize you guys further as they have an opportunity to go back to back in terms of winning the team championship and now a chance to win individual championships?
Well, you know, I mean, that was, you know, it's one of the ones we want the kids to enjoy the win, you know, but after we got back, you know, I made sure they understood that now it becomes a selfish thing where now we got to go try to win every individual match possible. And we're going to try to take the best 14 and qualify as many possible and try to, accumulate the most points in that state tournament. Because winning a team title is special, but then letting a kid win an individual title or become an all-stater or a state qualifier is incredibly special too, and we take a lot of pride in that. So hopefully we can have a really good week of practice this week and try to get as many as we can to the state tournament, and then see what happens the following week.
You said you only have 3 seniors in the lineup?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Yeah, you got an army coming back. That's a good deal. You're going to be a problem.
I think I counted last night. We had 7 freshmen or sophomores in the lineup last night. So hopefully, hopefully we can keep them around, get them better, keep them healthy, and keep building.
East side, south. That's what we're trying to build down here.
We could be anything remotely close to them would be awesome.
Amen, brother.
We try to model
to that.
We do after them because, I have a great deal of respect for Coach Kosmicki and Coach Mayholtz and what they have built there. Unfortunately, I was part of, as a wrestler, I was part of the start of their dynasty back in like 98 and 99. And then I contributed 2 more state championships in recent years. But, man, they're the best. They do things right, and they're good.
I mean, in South Carolina, it's always been, I just hope we can get beat by East Side in the finals. They just, no matter who it was, they were absolute wagon, and you guys are starting to kind of become, that same feared type of program. So awesome to get to have a front row seat for it, and really have enjoyed watching the growth and the way you've been able to sustain it. You had a kid, and we're over it, but you had a kid who was a state champ that elected not to wrestle for the school, and it didn't deter the program, because the program is the program, and I have a lot of respect for everything you guys have done over there, and I'm so happy for you guys, just especially for you. I mean, the amount of time, effort, work you put in. You have a beautiful family that doesn't get to see you as much as you would like them to, and they would like to, but it's because you're living your purpose, and that's exactly what your wife said last night. And way to go, man. Super happy
I
for you.
appreciate it, man. We appreciate all y'all do for not only wrestling in the Loco, but for all sports, man. It's a pleasure to have people who cover these high school kids, because these high school kids do a lot of work and they put a lot of time in, and just to hear them recognized on any level is greatly appreciated. So I appreciate all y'all guys do for not only wrestling, but all sports around the Low Country.
Yes, sir. And we'll see you out there this spring. I'm sure you're out there for everything. And
I'll be driving the bus, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
He does it.
Well,
he literally does it all, folks. He even drives the bus.
Yes, he does. And, congratulations, Coach. You can call yourself, for now and forevermore, a state champion, and that's something you can never have taken from you. That's something extremely special to have next to yourself. Coach Powell, state champion. That's a great feeling, and I'm sure you're going to feel it more and more when you get back to school on Monday.
And then just the fact that how long this journey has been to get there is more rewarding, because of all the hurdles that you need to jump through. I mean, just getting there for a couple times and falling short to a powerhouse, and just all this you guys and your team learned throughout this process. I feel like it means even more special just because of how long and how lengthy the journey has been to the top of the mountain in high school league.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Coach. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Bubba. Be good.
See you, Coach.
That's the state champion coach, Ashley Powell from May River Wrestling. So proud of those guys. Glad he could get up with us this morning, and on Wake Up Loco, the maiden voyage. He was all for it last night. He loves to come and talk to us, especially about celebrating his guys, and tremendous day for wrestling in the Loco. Not just those guys, but also some state champs in the SCISA state championships. Brian Orta from John Paul II winning in the 132 title, and then Daniel Snyder at 138, his teammate, the state champ as well. Carter Sims from Colleton Prep won the championship at 165. Luke Sobey from Patrick Henry taking the title at 190. And then some runners up, Jace Reynolds. That's 2 state championships for Sobey, by the way, and he's a freshman.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be a 5-timer in SCISA if he stays there.
Yeah, if he keeps going, man.
Jace Reynolds from JP2 placed second at 120. Jack Hannigan from JP2 placed second at 150. He lost to Luke Martin, who's like the hammer of all SCISA hammers from Hammond. Yeah, he's unreal. Third place finisher is Trip Thiessen from JP2 at 113. Jacob Alfonso from Thomas Hayward at 126, and he's just a freshman as well. Then Nick Blubaugh from Colleton Prep placed third at 215. And do we got any fourth place finishers? Yeah. Hilton Nettles from Patrick Henry, fourth at 150. Archer DeWig from JP2, fourth at 165. Kai Sobey, the younger Sobey from PHA, fourth at 175. So there's your state placers in SCISA, state individuals for high school league. Qualified lower state qualifiers are on Saturday, and then state championships next weekend up at Florence. So
yeah,
that's the wrestling.
We have May River picking up quite a few more individual state champions. That's for sure.
They've currently got 4 guys ranked first at their weight class, but one of them was Butler, who lost to the guy who was ranked second from Lawrence yesterday. So they'll flip flop, I'm sure. But they won't see each other again this weekend. It'll be next weekend. So that's why I say if they both win their lower state qualifier, then they would be opposite sides of the bracket, and I'd be shocked if we didn't see them again in the finals. And look out, because it's going to be crazy. He's going to defend that headlock. He got caught twice in headlocks where he was in an advantageous position and got countered into a headlock and put on his back. He fought off the first time, and then the second time he couldn't get out. But that happens, and now he knows what to look for. So rematch should be really fun. But to shift gears from the wrestling and to shout out one of our sponsors, our longest running sponsor, all-star sponsor of LowcoSports, and well, for now, the presenting sponsor of Wake Up Loco, Mickelson Law Firm. They've been with us since 2017, supporting local sports coverage, grassroots level, and they've been with us ever since. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage over at LowcoSports, and they supporting Wake Up Loco. We always bring you new ideas here on the Loco Media Network, so thanks to Mickelson Law Firm. Call on them for all your legal needs. They're right in downtown Bluffton. Everybody getting woken up this morning?
Yeah.
We ready to talk about the Cove?
What's everyone for breakfast today? We got some leftover muffins. I think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'll briefly discuss real quick with you guys because I have to hop off here in just a second.
Yeah.
But man, what a day in the both the Cove and over at Richard Gray Sports Complex. USCB softball team sweeping.
We were one win away from a perfect day over there, and at the Cove. Unfortunately, baseball let the first one slip away, but we got all the rest of them.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed is USCB softball is looking extremely dangerous this year. They still only have one loss.
The bats have been red hot, and then they have a dominant number one in the circle, who has really come into form even more so this year. Mackenzie Ford has been on a tear.
Oh yeah.
And I'll have to pull up the statistics and give you some.
Yeah, I was about to do that myself.
Here on some of these standout performers, but I do know that Jaden Goodwin hit a walk-off in Game 1 while I was calling baseball. It was a double to right field in a 3-2 comeback victory, or actually they
that girl loves to hit in February.
Right. It was 2-1. Mackenzie Ford doubled, and then Eckerd tied it, and then Sand Sharks won it in the 7th on that Goodwin extra base hit to walk it off. But man, Mackenzie Ford once again adding to her home run total. If I
5 bombs already.
My God!
Here. Yeah, she has
5 homers, 15 RBIs.
15 RBIs. Jaden Goodwin is 2.
And that's through what, 7 games?
8 games, 6 starts.
They played 8 games so far.
She's 7 for 21.
She only started 6 of them. So in 6 starts, she has 5 home runs. And
here's my favorite. She's 7 for 21 with 7 extra base hits, 5 homers, 2 doubles.
What's that OPS? I'll have to Let's see. Yeah, okay.
The OPS is 1643.
A 1.6
Oh my
OPS.
God.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh
Goodwin's
my
at
God.
1556. She's right there.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
They are raking.
Dude, these Sand Sharks softball players are on a tear right now, and it's really fun to watch. But you know, baseball on the other hand, lost the first game, and
Finally.
again,
Held on.
two games, you know, where they were ahead and just lost the lead just as quickly as they gained it, you know, and it was unfortunate. But then that second game, they got off to a 13-2 start, and they never looked back after that, you know. Yeah. So that's what you want to see out of USCB. You want to see them score runs. And they're scoring runs early.
Exactly. Andrew Shanks was terrific, and
yeah, they are. They're jumping on people.
Games found just inconsistencies, whether it was walks or hit by pitch.
Well, here's the other thing,
or just error. I mean, they committed 3 errors, I think, in that first. You just can't afford to make those defensive mistakes in a game where you're going against some quality bats on the opposition. So for USCB, I'll tell you what, the offense has been encouraging, very encouraging. Luke Doty has been terrific at the top of the lineup. Noah Campbell, Joe Turner have both been raking as well. Cooper McDaniel. The new guys on this team have blended in excellently with this offense. And I love the way that they're swinging the bat. Even Jake Tanner, who had just some lapses on both sides of it, fielding the ball and at the plate, I think he's gotten better, which is great to see. He used to play shortstop. They moved him to third, and he's been a lot better there. And then...
Well, yeah, I don't think he was a shortstop. I think they were asking him to play shortstop, but I never thought he was a shortstop. I think he's way better as second or third.
Yeah.
That wasn't on him. He's just not a shortstop.
This is my thought process on this. Those two losses, they were ahead after 3 innings. You know, like those first 3 innings, the offense clicks.
5-0 and 6-0.
After that third inning,
I mean,
after that third inning in those first 2 games.
And like I said, I'm really encouraged by the way this offense is performing.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Even against a good team like North Greenville. Yep. Now it's just a matter of, can you develop your arms a little bit more and find some successful guys who can eat up innings on the mound. And as you said, we're talking before the basketball game, and Ted Faulkner, I'll tell you, one of the benefits of taking some early season L's is you get to see your whole staff. You get a ton of opportunities to see all your arms and see, who you want where, or kind of, who fits the best situations. But a lot of pitchers have been in use, and it's been up and down performance for a good part of it. The ERA is certainly nothing to write home about on your team, but you hope that things will turn around and some younger guys will get some more experience. But I expect the pitching to hopefully get a little better. But the offense has been solid, and I'm excited to see how this translates to.
I think it's important to remember that they're not playing to win right now.
Right.
They're playing to win in Peach Belt play, and that's why we've seen 20 different pitchers.
Right.
Now, are all those guys going to pitch all year? No.
That's why you do it, and that's why you schedule it the way you do. You're not going to have your normal Friday, Saturday, Sunday night weekend series guys out there.
It's basically spring training.
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting everybody innings, see who's got what, and then you figure out who are your weekend guys, who are your midweek guys, and they'll get it sorted out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's easy to dwell on the results and say that, oh, well, they shouldn't have let this, but at the end of the day, I understand the thoughts of Ted Faulkner and saying, this is a part of the season where the record really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I don't care what the record is. I mean, I'd love to win some games. I'd love to see what good performances from these guys, but at the end of the day, you're preparing for March when conference season starts. I believe February they may actually start. I think Augusta's a conference series in February, if I saw correctly on the
March 1st.
February 21st. So it's actually sooner than I thought. They got a lot of road games coming up.
So they got to sort it out fast. That's why you're seeing everybody right now. Right. Let's see who's got what, and then
they only have another weekend of non-conference play. They go to Florida Southern, and then it's straight to Augusta after that for the first Peach Belt series. Their first 3 series are all on the road in conference play.
Well, here with more insights on the Sand Sharks is Mr. Sand Shark, the sports information, or not sports information director. He's the director of athletics communications now. We should put some spec on his name. It's Bracken Lambert waking up on a beautiful day in the Loco with
What day it was on Saturday.
he's got the sunroof open and he's a little crackly out there. Where you at, Brack?
Yeah, I'm on Highway 17 heading to Charleston.
To Charleston. So we picked up on the fact that we thought there was a softball game scheduled today, a single, but it looks like it's not.
No softball game today. Eckerd canceled the last game of the series, so that was the reason why we picked up that doubleheader against Savannah State.
Gotcha. All right. I wondered what happened there. I didn't know we had those games on the schedule until after they happened, or when they were happening. But yeah, man, what a day yesterday. How you feeling, buddy? You holding up all right?
I'm still a little sluggish, but I'm good. I'm happy with five out of 6 home wins and an indoor track record breaker, and I'm hoping for a couple players of the week, man. I think softball has a really good chance to sweep player and pitcher of the week.
Mackenzie?
Sounds good to me.
5 homers on the season. Just an outrageous start for softball. I am thoroughly impressed by the way that this team is, especially looking at the plate. But Sierra Kinlaw, I mean, that's everything you want from your number one pitcher out there. I feel like she has been dialed in even more so now this year than what we have seen in the past. Just an unbelievable start for her. And Cassie Brundage sitting at a 1.45 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. So a nice start for her as well. And
Maddie Murphy looking good too.
Yeah, well, that's who
the others have been playing well too.
Yeah, that's who I nominated was Murph. So Murph coming from Chattanooga State Community College, and like we mentioned it on the rewind, she was a kid that was really sought after by North Georgia. Right. And there's a lot of kids, and I give all the credit where credit's due. Cody and Allison are 2 coaches that are fiery, and they fight for their players, and they are going to fight for that program. And that's who these players want to play for. Sometimes it just comes down to the financial part, because there's been a lot of kids who we unfortunately have lost because of whether it be scholarship or anything like that. But they want to come play for Cody and Allison. That's a huge thing, and they love the Loco. That's what they really do.
It's a great place. The weather's fantastic. The coaching staff is incredible. Cody Yeski, she has done quite an amazing job, really helping them improve their work ethic and just their approach to the plate. And then you see the quality pitching we're observing as well. It's just an unbelievable package that they're helping us build here in this softball program, which has had great success in the past. And I know you know this, JJ, being a part of the early days of USCB athletics, to see the potential for the softball team. It's got to be really exciting for everyone involved. And I think the sky is the limit for what this team can do going forward with how they've started and just the numbers that they're putting up at the plate. I mean, a 1.6 OPS is off the charts, as they say.
Can I press pause on you for a second, Wes? Max has to bail. He's got to go run the music at his church because, that's what a great man like Max does on Sunday morning. But he wanted to share some thoughts since he was on color with me yesterday for the women's game and in the Cove for the men's game as well. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah, so first of all, great women's game. Basketball goes 4-0 this week. How about that?
Four scoops.
Women's are now on what we call a winning streak, winning against Lander, and of course last night against Southwestern.
It has happened before.
Yeah, it has happened. And then finally for the men's, how the hell did they win that game? I don't understand. They just seem to know how to do this thing. I was having a heart attack until about maybe 2 seconds left in the game. I just don't understand. They were up 2-0 and then did not lead until 5 seconds left.
I came out of the building and was like, how the heck did we win that game?
I mean, me and Justin were just absolutely shook. We were speechless for a solid 20 minutes after the game. I was just shocked.
I mean, with all the adversity, with some tough calls along the way, and some tough breaks, and just a really good effort from Georgia Southwestern, and this team they find a way. They
are now they are now tied with, if I'm not mistaken, they are tied with Augusta, and they are only one game back of Columbus State.
Yeah.
Columbus State barely, and by the way, Columbus State barely won last night, 72-69 over North Georgia at home.
Hey, there is no barely winning in the Peach Belt, brother. You either win or you don't. That's all there is. I mean, we got 2 wins by 3 points against them boys from Georgia Southwestern, and we're tied for second, and they're toward the bottom.
Yeah, those are
that's just how it goes.
Georgia Southwestern, I mean, you talk about a team that's lower than you in the standings. I mean, they had to earn it every step of the way.
That team was tough.
Right.
Yeah, they were tough, but I just thought I'd leave you guys with that. And so my brief summary is great win by the women's team. Men just seem to find some dark magic somewhere. I don't know how they do it, but
absolutely.
I'm just still shocked that
Ronnie
they won
Funball.
that game. Kenny was the man of the night in that second half, late in the second half, really helping that team.
He took over down the stretch. I mean, Eason was the man of the night. Eason was the man of the night.
What was he? He had to have had like 6 threes or something like that. I mean, he was shooting threes from everywhere.
He was splashing.
But I thought I'd leave you guys with that, and I'm gonna get off here. So I just wanted to give you guys my brief thoughts on that, and then head off of here. So I will see you guys tomorrow night on the LowcoSports Lowdown. Until I see you guys again, go Loco.
Yeah, happy Sunday, buddy.
I'm just really impressed by the composure, because there were several times in that second half where I've seen a team, get, unfortunate breaks on a bad call, or there were a couple of technicals, and it just, you see it turn the other way for them. But this team never got too rattled, and even with all the chaos that surrounded like the last, the midway portion of the second half, I look up and we're only down by 10. We got a chance.
Yeah.
And then everything started to go right those last couple minutes, and the Sand Sharks got to the game. And after that point, it felt like it was coming. It felt like it was coming, even when the point where Georgia Southwestern was able to fight back. And I believe they eventually took a lead, and the Sand Sharks tied with a jumper immediately. And
twice. They twice went up 2, and we tied it, and then we got to stop, and KG had the bucket.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, go ahead, Brack.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was such a roller coaster, because it was, I never felt like down and out about it. Even down 18 at half, like we've seen down 22 at half erased. So I didn't feel down and out about it there. And then I heard Coach Ron go in the locker room for what couldn't have been more than about 30 seconds and say what had to be said. And he walked out. And then they walked out with smiles on their face and pep in their step, and they were laughing, and they were ready to go to work. And I was like, oh, I think they're going to be fine. And when we got it down to 8 in like 3 minutes, I thought we were going to just keep rolling.
Yeah, I was just
the credit to Georgia Southwestern.
Second half, because it just felt like
the doubt came in for me when they got it back to double digits.
Yeah,
like when it was 77-63.
Well, this is going to be tough. But
77-63 is where I was worried.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was too. Yesterday was, as you know, long day. So I'm at the table writing stories and writing everything else, trying to get stuff done. And I'm paying attention, because usually I write during the game so that I have a better feel for it. But my goodness, I'm sitting there like, okay. And then I look at Luke, and it was right after the flopping foul, or the flopping technical that Hudson got. And so I was like, oh man. And so it was 88-81
Oh, is that what this
winning,
means? This means
you know,
flop?
like,
I never knew what
yeah,
that meant.
that means flop.
I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out what
So
my boy
we were
Timmy
looking
was
at it.
saying there.
Yeah. So we had so that becomes a technical, and then Kyle was assessed a technical too, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't see what it was.
He was assessed a flagrant. It
But
was he made contact with the head, so it was a flagrant. And then they had one against them too.
Yeah.
It got
upgraded.
upgraded.
The one against Kev. Yeah, the one against Kev was.
He got.
I mean, that was rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, both of them they reviewed
and
it,
it was
so it is or it isn't.
And we're right, and I mean, and we're trying to get everything.
Oh, Bracken hit a dead spot and got gremlined, but yeah, I mean, it was a super physical game, a highly emotionally charged game, and then a couple of them couldn't shake hands at the end. They were a little too fired up.
Yeah, there was some.
It was good to see cooler heads prevail and separate them, but there was some talking going on, as there is when you got elite athletes who are crazy competitive going head to head. So, hey, Bracken, we're losing you, Bubba. He must be out by the Harriet Tubman Bridge. We're gonna bid Bracken adieu and let him get on up the road to Charleston, because I know how the service is out that way.
A nice impromptu Sand Shark rewind.
Indeed,
because obviously with the big game tonight, all your focus will be on. We'll get to that at the end of the show, but just some more thoughts on USCB. Just unbelievable full day, which started at 11 or 10:30 for me when I got to the ball field at Richard Gray, and man, almost a perfect day. 5 for 6 is I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah.
But that ton of fun to be a part of this athletic culture and these athletic events around here, because I think something special is really brewing with these, not just the men's women's basketball teams, but the softball and baseball teams as well. Just to see how incredible softball started, and to see the makings of what could be a competitive team on the baseball diamond as well.
I mean, exciting if nothing else. If they're going to play like 17, 14 games
team.
all year.
They're, it's one of those frisky teams where they can beat anybody, but they can lose to some, teams that are not very good.
Yeah.
I feel like that is kind of where they are right now with the high octane level of their offense. But the jury's still out for how the pitching is going to be. But I will say I was really impressed in that third game, where they really put it all together after letting two big leads slip away in games 1 and 2 against Albany State. That last game was really impressive, and big props to what we saw from Andrew Shanks. He was electric. He was hitting the spots early, and we're just really strong performance through 5 innings to allow just 2 earned runs. But then Nick Underwood and Braden Fowler helped seal the deal to pick up that win, and finally get to hear Snake Farm for the first time. Well, I didn't, because I had to head over to. I must be bad luck, because
you had to leave. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to leave, but Snake Farm just sucks.
Although, hey, we had the win when I left, so I helped pick up the win.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got the win. They saved it for you.
The win,
and then you got 2 dubs at the Cove, so it's all good. You went at least 5, right? You got the win.
I don't remember.
I
Maybe not.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it went.
If it was a scheduled bullpen day, you can still be credited.
Well, no. I think I know Major League, you still have to go 5. I don't know if in college baseball.
Yeah, but in college baseball, if it's a scheduled bullpen day, you can award it to the.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's
the most effective pitcher.
Okay.
So.
But yeah, hey, nice to see that win for the Sand Sharks to close out the weekend, and they will be hitting the road for one more at home on Tuesday, but then a long road trip that will take us until mid-March. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy work. Kevin Levy can't join us today because he's a working man, but you can see how hard he's working over here in the comments. Ronnie Funball did tell me that he loved them at halftime. He did tell me that after the game. I didn't hear him say that he loved them. I heard him say some other things. he probably said he loved them in a calmer, more reasoned voice. So I probably just didn't hear it from outside the door. But he said some things like, "We look like we don't practice." He was not pleased with the effort and execution in the first half. But like I said, they know that it comes from a place of love, because the way they walked out of that room was not beaten down and dejected. It was uplifted and motivated and inspired.
And especially because
that's the difference between
to go up 18. Right. It was like that's a tough momentum sting right there, because maybe you're down 15, you have a chance, and then
you throw Guion rained that three.
For most
felt
teams,
like a dagger, didn't it?
Yeah,
because they kept fighting it down.
That felt like a dagger to me. But tell you what, you can never count the team. They were down 20 and came back to nearly beat Flagler, and I like the first few minutes, I was all in, and then the adversity started to come midway through the half, and it was like, we just can't catch a break, and it felt like it was one of those nights, and then it's just escaping from the jaws of defeat. I mean, that's what it was.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's
ripping victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yeah, it's just and to see it happen the other way, to win one from coming back from behind, it's just it's awesome to witness, and just once again, terrific atmosphere in the Cove. It is a hard place to play. I'll tell you that. It is a tough place to play if you're coming into the Cove. With the energy that continues, despite the Sand Sharks trailing by almost 20 again. It's a 40-minute game for a reason, and Sand Sharks will find a way to get the ball. I'm sure Kuda would love a full 40. I'm sure you wouldn't want to stress about coming back from behind, but that's the nature of the game sometimes. And when you take as many threes as they do, it's the live by die by approach, where when you're not hitting the shots, and that can get you where you do fall behind. But just the resolve of this team to continue to battle, and every man finds a way to make those contributions as we go along, and it's a different hero. It seems like it's a different hero so many times for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that I hate is that the men's game kind of overshadowed the women's game a little bit, because it's the last one, so it's like what stays fresh in your mind. No, but I mean, like, I just mean, like, when the men's game happens after, it kind of it mutes the women's.
The best taste of the men's game that just happened, I guess, is what
I just mean in terms of, like, we're talking so much about the men, but that women's game was amazing. They lost by 37
I will
points.
tell you what, they are right back in the mix for a tournament spot, because they've won 2 in a row at home. This one was the most impressive one yet.
Unbelievable.
Georgia Southwestern came in ranked pretty high in this conference, and that was a gutsy.
And they beat us 88-51 when we went there. I mean, they hammered us by 37. So they come here.
Right there.
We're down 2 starters. Maddie Self and Bree Bartle both out.
Right.
And 2 key starters, and the kids stepped
impressive. Up. Lydia Gattosi, the Catwoman, she came to play in this one.
And then Jigsaw.
And even down the stretch in overtime, she was like right there contesting that shot, and she may have gotten a piece of that one because she must have, because it was a block shot and they got the ball back. But talk about that defense down the stretch as well for USCB was tremendous, and just what a crazy game. The 2 of them really, but this one set the tone. And Coach Vidal is right. I think the women doing well makes a big difference for the guys' game. But Tozy with 28 to lead the Sand Sharks, and the Kude for Georgia Southwestern had 31. But
she was incredible. And Dukwe, oof, she's a crazy good player. She and Gattosi were going
and then Mighty Mouse
toe in the first half.
Whatever new nickname is.
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw. Just her motor to get to the rim sometimes. I mean, she just slithers through defenders. It is so fun to watch when she's on her game. And then Janiah Hayward continues to be a beast on the board. She's got 3 offensive rebounds, and picked up a couple of steals as well. She means so much to this team. Great to have her back, and to win a game like this, despite losing such a valuable playmaker and passer in Bortles, someone who could shoot as well, and then that rebounder for a player who also missed the game. And Madison Self. It's just to see them join the team and to see some others put in some good minutes like Polluti, number 35, who picked up a couple of boards and blocked.
That's who I was just going to mention. She's been tremendous the last 2 games, and her, not only her, but Jada Young is playing really tough in the post, and then Aria Garrett also continues to improve, and so now they have like a really solid 3-woman, 4-woman post rotation in the paint that is pretty formidable, and that moves Gatosi away from the basket where she's way tougher. Hayward's shift from 0 to hero. I wouldn't say 0. Remember, she started the season late, so it took her a while to get in the flow.
Yeah,
but I think she has made a concerted effort to pull back on the reins offensively and start to look for others more. And it's been noticeable. She's making much better decisions with the ball.
This was the game that I was anticipating to see at some point where she would take over and make some big defensive plays as well, because when she is so lethal on the break, but she can also knock down some shots and do a great job just being that floor general and doing so many different things to help propel a team like this. And we're starting to see the high end potential of what Lydia Gatosi can do for this team after missing last year. I feel like she has gotten fully to the level where we expect her to play at in a game like this against a fantastic Georgia Southwestern team who has been having a pretty solid year. That's an enormous win to get that one. And now they're just one game out of the playoffs, one game out of the 8th spot for the conference tournament. They're one game behind Flagler. They got some tough games though. They got Georgia College on the road and then North Georgia on the road, so it doesn't get any easier for the Sand Sharks. Aiken should be 2 winnable games for them. Aiken's now at the bottom. Sand Sharks finally out of the cellar at 3-8. Aiken at 2-9. So those are 2 games you got to win when you're playing Aiken coming up, but. If you can take one of 2 against Georgia, if you can steal Georgia College, steal game against Georgia College, North Georgia is going to be that's going to be a really tough one. But you never know.
Yeah, North Georgia's tough, but we beat.
Hard to doubt them at this point. You'd love to get healthier. You'd love to have Madison Self and Brielle Bartle back. But man, Sharon Versip, I'll tell you what, the ship has been righted by leaps and bounds just to see where this team is now, because they were on a downward trend the last couple of weeks, but back here at the Cove, they have found a new gear, and it's great to see. This is the best basketball they've been playing probably so far in this young career
for sure
of Sand Shark hoops.
I think the last 2 games have been the best 2 games we've seen them play by with the exception of maybe that North Georgia game last year, but I think both of these were better really. Overall, the depth that they're cultivating, the way people are understanding their roles, like it's all coming together, just like Coach Versa promised it would. If you trust the process. But the North Georgia is really tough, but Georgia College, very winnable game. Both against Aiken, you'd expect to be able to win.
Men had a great chance against
Flagler's a winnable game too.
Yeah, and North Georgia. Yes. Yeah, sorry, we'll go back to the win for a second. Yeah, Flagler certainly is a winnable game, and that's going back to men's standings, going back to the win real quick. Yeah, Flagler.
Flagler on the 22nd.
That's one that they need to get, because that's the team they're chasing for the last tournament spot. Flagler's a game ahead of USCB, so that could be an important one for them. But hey, I mean, this is a team that looked to be falling out of it, and now they're right back in it. So that's fantastic to witness this team's resurgence these last few games, and being at the Cove where the energy is so hype. And we had a cheerleading section that brought some good energy to the team yesterday, and another good turnout. And on a day where it was the first Saturday night game, and Saturday night there's a lot to do, and
I liked it though. I like the primetime Saturday. I hope we move to that. It's fun.
Yeah, that's great. We do have some more night games though coming up on Wednesdays. Our next game, I believe, is against Aiken in about a week and a half or so. Which,
Yeah,
oh
19.
man, that men's game is going to be a dogfight. That is going to be an all-out war.
Whoa, the sneezes are getting me this time of year, Wes.
No, but just looking ahead, that men's game against Aiken. Oh boy.
Yeah, both of them.
Settling for a heavyweight fight for that one.
So we'll get the rematch in the Cove because they play at Aiken on Monday to make up the snow game, and then rematch in the Cove. A couple other things on the docket, so let's get rolling here. JP2. So we talked on the LowcoSports Lowdown about the region tournament for the SCISA 4A region that was taking place this weekend at Hilton Head Christian. JP2 was playing in it. The girls we expected would. Well, we didn't know for sure, but we expected they would probably make it to the region final, which will basically be the first round of the state playoffs, as I understand it, the state tournament. The girls did roll. They beat Wilson Hall 52-28. Lily Termini with a double-double, 12 and 10. Emma McCamey had 10 points and 6 boards, and Savannah Trott had 11. They're playing either Trinity Collegiate or Lawrence Manning. I would suspect Trinity Collegiate on Tuesday for the region championship. And then the boys, they were the 4 seed, knocked down top seeded Wilson Hall 68-59. Dante Aiken scorched the nets. He had 4 3-pointers in the first half, 14 points, and they made 12 of 14 free throws down the stretch to win it 68-59. So JP2, not sure who they'll play, but either Lawrence Manning or Trinity Collegiate as well.
Season's underway, and SCISA basketball.
It is
exciting,
yes,
and yeah, I like the return to conference tournaments. Or region tournaments. That's a lot of fun to see. You know, did they do that in the past? Because I don't remember them doing that when I've been
here. They've done something like that a long time ago in the past, but I don't know. I don't know if it's a region by region decision. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, but it will factor.
I don't think they're doing it at every.
Trying to figure out how it factors into the whole playoff seeding and the playoff bracket. But you never know what
does it mean.
Does to do that? That's it's hard to read those indications for what the SCISA bracket will be like because it can be because I remember circumstances where they released the bracket before the regular season ended. So you never know.
Right. So I have no idea what is happening. I really don't. I just know they played a region tournament and the region championships at Sumter Civic Center. That's what I was told. So, but JP2 moving on. So congrats to the Golden Warriors, especially the guys pulling off that upset to stay alive because. You know, we talked a lot about how they're a quality team, but they finished 4th in that region, and it felt like the margins were pretty narrow. So
4 is tough, but they're holding their own. It's a really good JP2 girls team. Really, really good.
Absolutely.
And I mean, they beat up the Hilton Head Christian on Senior Day tonight, and man, that's a really talented team, and I'd love to see them make some noise and pull off an upset or two in the playoffs. That would be a ton of fun.
Yep. Well, we want to shout out a couple of our sponsors. We got Base Hit Life, baseball and softball themed apparel. Go check them out at basehitlife.com and live your best Base Hit Life. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor. Find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club. We've talked about them a lot today with our state champion wrestlers from the Loco. They're the official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind on the Loco Media Network. And Jay's Barbershop, our favorite place to get your hair cut and grab some great conversation downtown Ridgeland. Check out Jay's Barbershop. And finally, our Loco Booster Club sponsor, Hudson's Seafood House on the docks, just back on board for another year. And a great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. You're already up. You've had your coffee. You've woken up, Loco, and it's time to go out to Hudson's for maybe some brunch, and it's going to be a beautiful day in the Low Country.
Yeah, I mean, 70-degree weather. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous over on the Richard Gray Sports Complex the last couple of days to be out there to call some baseball and hopefully be able to get to call some softball soon as well, because that's a really fun, exciting team over there on top of Ted Faulkner's squad, and Cody Yeski's doing a great job, like I said. But yeah, weather is absolutely phenomenal. And definitely will get outside and maybe hit the beach for the big game later tonight.
Yeah, so that brings us to our final segment. What you doing today? I know where I will be. We know where Max is right now. He's working the music at church, but then he's going to come out to Hardyville High School, come out to the Ville, and hang out with me and Coach Collins, our new baseball coach, and we're going to be running One Loco Sunday Skills in the Ville clinics. We got basketball going in the gym with the girls. We got softball and baseball firing up today. So go to oneloco.org if you're a young player, fifth grade through high school, basically. Get it in and sign up and come out and get in some work with us this afternoon.
I was planning to go to potentially see some softball today, but now I got an open day. So
yeah, your day freed up. It's a great beach day. Great beach day for sure.
Yeah.
Poor Libby's doing work and homework. But then, of course, we all know what we'll be doing tonight because everybody in America watches the Super Bowl, whether you care about football or not. And I have specific interests, but I'm also on record that I think Saquon, happy birthday, Saquon and the Eagles.
Yeah, I can see where the script can be written where Saquon Barkley could have a historic night or at least be a big factor in the day where he's celebrating his 28th birthday. So happy birthday to Saquon Barkley, and it'll either be your best birthday ever or one that you wish could have been better at the end of the day. But hey, that's kind of cool for Saquon and a Philly team that is going to provide a heck of a test to this Kansas City dynasty trying to make a historic mark in the history of the NFL tonight. And I will. I'm gonna. You want me to give a score prediction first, or do you want to go ahead?
You can go ahead.
All right, but yeah, I mean, I expect. I think that this will be. I think the Eagles have a real shot here. I've been really impressed with how the defense has been playing on top of what Saquon has been doing to really anchor that squad. I mean, what a steal, what a free agency signing that was. To get a guy like Barkley in there, Giants fans will still be kicking themselves for not securing him as a fixture of this team for the next couple of seasons. But he has had one of the better seasons from running back probably since the Adrian Pearson days back in the early 2010s.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anybody up to that level in a long time.
I think that's right.
Yeah, he has been quite impressive this year. But do not forget how well this Philadelphia defense has been playing. They've been able to withstand some terrific performances by a couple of strong teams, most notably Washington. The last time they played in that NFC Championship game, but I like this Philly team a lot for how they have adjusted, and because they had a kind of a rough start this year, but they surged ahead midway through. Jalen Hurts has been especially solid, and Barkley has been running the show, but you can't forget about AJ Brown and his deep threat to out wide because he has become one of the more elite receivers in this game. But I will say this Kansas City defense, they have been great against the run for most of this year. Spagnuolo is a genius for what he's been able to do, and I expect him to have some big ideas up his sleeve for how to hold down Barkley and this Philadelphia offense to the point where Kansas City will earn the opportunity to put the ball in their best players' hands and let Patrick Mahomes go to work. And I think it's going to be a fantastic chess match against two fantastic coaching staff. By the way, Kellen Moore, after this game, is going to be heading to New Orleans. He's going to be new head coach of the Saints. But I am pumped for this one. I mean, history on the line, NFL history, sports history. I mean, Kansas City is a chance to do something that we've never seen before. And it's, I mean, in this age of the salary cap and how difficult it is to build a contender and a winner every year, obviously it's so important to nab that elite quarterback and to nab some elite pieces alongside of him and to acquire some coaches and assistant coaches who really know the ins and outs of how to build a competitive team in the league for so many years. It's been really impressive to see what Kansas City has been doing, but I think if there's a time for them to be knocked off, I think it's this gritty team from Philadelphia who loves to play the underdog. That's their mentality, the Rocky underdog mentality over there in Philly.
Absolutely.
And I think they're going to provide a heck of a test, but you know what? Give me the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're taking the Chiefs.
28-24.
All right. How about that? Is that my hat?
Yes. I still give it back to you, but maybe after the game.
No worries. No worries.
Next time in the Cove. But hey, since I had it, might as well.
You've had it. You've had it for one Super Bowl, so if they win it today, you're keeping that thing.
But I will give it back to you maybe at the Cove next home game.
No rush. If they keep winning, you keep that thing. No, I obviously I want them to win. You always want your team to win. But I understand what it is. We've won 2 already. In a row. That's more than I expected to get in my lifetime. 3 in a row is crazy work. Nobody does that, especially in this age. And so it is what it is. It's been a charm season. We've just, just danced through it, winning crazy games, and I've just laughed every week and posted the meme. And so, whatever. If they lose, they lose. Congratulations to Philadelphia. They've had a great season. Shout out to Nick Sirianni, because I thought he was losing that team and on the verge of losing his job at one point. And he really turned them around, and it feels like they're really bought in and playing for him. I won't lose sleep over it if the Chiefs lose tonight. And in fact, my pick is Eagles 32, Chiefs 27. But I hope I'm wrong. I think it's going to be a great game. I believe it's going to be a great game. And I very much look forward to it. What's your one thing you got to eat during the game?
Can't go wrong with some sliders. If you have those are always solid.
Yep.
Chili is always always the move.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, there's some good stuff.
We got some chili dogs over there.
Chili dogs. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Chili dogs.
Now there's always a ton of prop bets that come up during the game, and of course, what Gatorade color will be tossed on the head coach.
And meatballs with the grape jelly and the barbecue sauce
on the halftime show. But there's one that Kevin Liddy pointed out, which I saw the other day. Will Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift?
Or vice versa.
Will Taylor propose post-game?
That's Kevin's question. That would be something else.
All
right. Will Drake suffer a stroke during the halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar?
I think he already has, because Kendrick won a bunch of Grammys already last weekend.
It's the troll that just keeps trolling. I love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Jer. Jada Young's pops, Jerry Young, checking in. Good morning, Loco. It is a glorious day, baby. It's a glorious day. Want to get out on the softball field with some girls, and hopefully a great football game tonight to cap it off and send us into the week. We're getting started Monday night with
a lot of high school basketball, including the big hometown showdown times too, May River Bluffton.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun week, a manic, chaotic week, but a fun one nonetheless. So let's get out of here and go enjoy this beautiful day in the Loco. Thanks for waking up with us. Thanks to Max and Raj for joining us before he had to get off to church. And thanks to Coach Powell, Ashley Powell, the state champ from May River High School, for being our first guest on Wake Up Loco. We're going to have to make this at least a semi-regular thing, and maybe more than that, because it was fun. Sunday mornings, it's nice to have a little more casual roll through what's going on, and maybe we'll venture out and talk about things other than sports here on Wake Up Loco. But have fun today, folks, and we'll see you out there, and we'll see you back in here Monday night for the Loco Sports Lowdown. So for Wesker, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks so much for waking up with us, and until next time, stay